It's time for Around the Ozarks News, brought to you by the Springfield Greene County Park Board, Kitchen Land USA, and Thompson Sales. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Forhetz.
Hey there, good morning to you on Monday. Hope you had a good weekend. It was a stormy weekend, that is for sure. So we are on the road today, and if you experienced the storms yesterday, you know they were pretty strong.
Real strong. Yes. Lots of power outages. In fact, we were looking at the city utilities outage map in Springfield last night, and it wasn't even working for us. So the map to tell us how many people were down. I did see the news leader say at least 11,000 at one point. So
yeah, we were without power for a while. Convoy of Hope, we went over there just to check things out. There were some buildings damaged in that area, Republic Springfield, but a lot of down trees, a lot of down power lines, gusts up to 80 miles per hour across the Ozarks, a different area. Power crews working into the night to restore power for everybody who lost it. So be sure to stay tuned to Abby Dyer's Wake Up Weather after this to see what the forecast has in store for the rest of the week, and we hope it's a little calmer. We've had a lot of rain and storms lately. Then also in the news, 28-year-old man from Texas will spend 4 years in prison for stealing money from banks, including a bank in Ozark. He also has to pay back $175,000 in restitution to Southern Bank in Ozark, along with two other banks on the East Coast. He was part of a group that stole a truck in Nixa, then used chains to break apart the ATM in Ozark. We reported on this back when it happened in 2023. They stole cash out of that ATM in Ozark. One of the thieves accidentally, no doubt, left his ID in the truck when they abandoned the stolen truck. And that really helped police out quite a bit. The FBI was able to track this guy down and say, excuse me, did you forget this in a stolen truck where you got they was on surveillance video. So anyway, he's going to prison for at least 4 years.
That's unfortunate. Oh, man.
For him.
It's good news for the rest of us. All right. A man from Republic is accused of trying to destroy a drone that was being used by Greene County deputies. The 40-year-old is facing several charges related to that, as well as gun and drug crimes. A grand jury indicted the man for trying to shoot down that police drone back in March. A deputy superintendent for the Springfield Public Schools is back at work. We told you about this man after being on paid leave for about 2 months. Travis Shaw is deputy superintendent of operations. The district has not said why he was on administrative leave, just citing personnel matters.
Okay. And we should tell you about this. You should know about it. A summer hotspot still closed, could be for several more weeks. In fact, we tried to go down for our daughter's birthday a couple of weeks ago. Moonshine Beach.
Oh, yes.
And it was shut down. We should have known better, but we called ahead of time to be sure. It's on Table Rock Lake in Branson. It's been closed for about a month now because of high water. And it could be, we're told, about another month before Table Rock is back down to the normal level. So it's not been great for...
Well, and just a couple days ago, she was asking me if I could take her and her friends again. And I was like, oh, yeah, surely it's open by now. And then she Googled it and it wasn't. Yeah. And I was shocked by that.
Give it another month or so. It's affecting all of the livelihood of Table Rock Lake too, so that's not great. Also in Branson, the Drury-Mincy Conservation Area is closing overnights indefinitely starting tomorrow. People have apparently been dumping things there, misusing it in unsafe ways as well. So the Drury-Mincy area will remain open to hiking during the day, but not to overnight camping. Meanwhile, another place that people go to have fun. 2 people damaged a floating wetland at Fellows Lake in North Springfield. They are habitats. Those wetlands are habitats to improve the quality of water at Fellows. Of course, that's where Springfield gets the majority of its drinking water supply. Swimming is not allowed in Fellows Lake, nor is tying boats to the wetlands or climbing on them because that's what damages them.
All right. Missouri's bid to keep the Chiefs in the state does not appear to be going too well. Yeah. It looks as if the state's proposal for taxpayers to foot up to half of the price of a new stadium is not enough for the Chiefs. They're considering moving to Kansas, where that state has offered to pay up to 70% of the cost of a new domed stadium. The Chiefs asked Kansans to extend their deadline, which was the end of June. So now the Chiefs can make a decision about their future home.
Yeah, and I think it's beginning to leave a sour taste in the mouth of a lot of Missourians. Certainly the legislators who came up with this.
Yeah.
I mean, paying up to half is substantial.
Right.
It's taxpayer
Considering how much money they make. However, I think that you're right about the sour taste in the mouth of legislators, but I guarantee you 99% of Missourians, if you polled them, would say, please stay in Missouri.
Right. But the problem is the way this whole thing is set up now, that private teams that make a lot of money get public dollars to help them make more money. It's just a mess. And Kansas is going to go 70%, maybe higher after this. Who knows? So I don't know. I just don't like it. Yeah. What are you going to do about it?
Well, I mean, and we're at the time approaching July where we're going to know one way or the other.
And the voters in Jackson County said, no, we're not going to pay for that.
Yeah.
So the state went over them and said, oh, we'll cover it anyway. So I don't know. We'll see how it works out. Meanwhile, things appear to be going well for First Watch. Turns out people like their breakfast. The chain, which has 2 locations in Springfield, as you know, is planning to add up to 64 new restaurants this fiscal year across the country. It currently has 580 locations in 31 states. And people do enjoy a nice breakfast from time to time.
All right. Save the date for Around the Ozarks night at the ballpark. This is Hammons Field. Tuesday, tomorrow at 7:05 as the Springfield Cardinals take on the Northwest Arkansas Naturals and bring in all the summertime fun. It is a good time out there. Our very own Joy Robertson is going to be throwing the first pitch.
Yep.
She's lovely. And the first 5,000 fans get a hot dog.
Oh, a free hot dog.
A free hot dog. Yeah. Well, I mean, anybody can go get a hot dog.
Anybody can get
a free hot dog.
Yeah,
also, they are going to have fireworks at the end of the night. Not just tomorrow night, but I think 3 nights in a row. They will be having fireworks at the end of the game. We were there last year for that, and it was a great time, especially because last night, I know there were at least two big fireworks shows that were canceled. One in Hartville that I was going to be speaking at. Hartville always brings out a huge crowd. Yeah. And then Second Baptist Church in Springfield was going to do their own event. Both of those canceled last night.
Weather.
So yeah, no need to be sad. You can head out tonight or tomorrow night to the ball field and watch them there. Also, Ebenezer, the 4th of July parade is happening on July 4th. The Ebenezer Historical Society is hosting that. Starts at 10:45 a.m. So that'll be fun. They're in Ebenezer at the intersection of Farm Road 56 and 153 in Springfield. And then, of course, Marshfield always has its annual celebration. And this year's no different. Also on the 4th of July at the corner of Washington and Locust Streets, that Independence Day parade starts at 10 a.m.
Okay, a lot of events going on. You can always go to Around the Ozarks and check out the calendar as well as any contests that we may be having going and running because we do all the time. We're always giving away good stuff.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That'll do it for a Monday. Thanks for being with us wherever you are, and we hope you have a fantastic day. We'll see you back here on Tuesday.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, brought to you by Command Family Medicine, Heating and Air Paramedics, and Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everybody. Conditions across the Ozarks today are starting off very warm. We've got numbers this morning starting out in the 70s. And once again, high temperatures are going to climb to nearly 87 degrees. It is going to feel warmer than that when you factor in the humidity, but we're starting the day with some rain and storm activity on the radar. We had some of that, of course, lingering from last night because there's a cold front on the way, and that is going to come into play in our extended forecast this week as well. This morning, showers and thunderstorms for many. The rain kind of a relief after all the hot temperatures that we had last week. The grass was wanting a drink. We're getting that. Too much rain over the weekend on Sunday for some of our far north northern counties. In fact, heavy rain reported all the way from Lake of the Ozarks back through some of our eastern counties as well. 1 to 3 inches generally across those regions, and more to come today. I do expect that we get some dry time today, especially in the second half of the day. The best opportunity for rain and storms is going to be for the first half of the morning. We've got widespread opportunities for showers and thunderstorms this morning, and it's all because a frontal boundary is heading our direction. Now, this front, once it passes through, is going to be cooler temperatures for us for the midweek time frame, and it also means that we'll see a shift in our wind direction. For most of the day today, we have a southwest breeze about 10 miles an hour. The best chance for rain today is going to be early, and there could be a few thunderstorms, heavy downpours, and some gusty winds, likely the biggest concerns with some of those showers and storms. But this front is bringing great news because it also brings relief in our forecast. We see our temperatures back off a little bit by the middle of the week. High temps will fall into the 80s. I am expecting that for the 4th of July holiday weekend, heat and humidity turn back up. So enjoy the cooler temperatures and the rain that's out there today, because I think that we'll be missing some of the cooler air again by 4th of July holiday. That's what some of the models are indicating as we head closer to the end of the 7-day forecast time frame. Today, though, in Springfield, 87 degrees. It will feel warmer than that, with it feels like temperature closer to 90. Cooler conditions back into the mid-80s Tuesday, Wednesday. Heat starts to sneak back in by Thursday. We enter to a isolated rain chance in the forecast again by Thursday of this week. We also will have at least some chance for rain and storms on Independence Day, but there will also be the heat and humidity back in full forecast with highs near 90 degrees again by the end of the week. So enjoy the mid-80s while we have them. We also have some cooler nights with lows finally falling back into the middle 60s. Around the country, what's making headlines as we begin the new week in the last day of the month? Scattered showers and strong storms for the upper plains and the middle Mississippi Valley. That is through tomorrow. We also are seeing some heat advisories over portions of Washington State, Oregon, and Idaho today, lasting through tomorrow. So the heat is on for our friends up in the Pacific Northwest. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister Trivia question for the day. And the question that I left you with late last week was this: which phenomenon causes sunshine to appear in various colors during sunrise and sunset? The options were A, refraction, B, diffraction, C, scattering, or D, reflection. You know, all the beautiful, vibrant colors that we get, especially here in the Ozarks, the reds, the oranges, purples in the sky oftentimes. What phenomenon causes that? Well, if you chose C, scattering, congratulations, you are correct. Colorful sunsets are a result of light scattering. And specifically, this is called Rayleigh scattering. Shorter wavelengths of light, the blue and the violet, are scattered away by air molecules, leaving behind the longer wavelengths, which are the reds, the oranges, the yellows that we see at sunset time. This is also the reason that oftentimes when there's, wildfire smoke in the air or additional particles in the air, sometimes those sunsets actually are better because there's more scattering taking place, leading to even more beautiful sunsets. So congrats if C, scattering, was your answer. Here's the question that I'll leave you with for tomorrow morning. Some animal facts for you. What is the smallest owl species in the world, measuring about 5 to 6 inches tall? Do you think that is A, the great horned owl, B, the pygmy owl, C, the elf owl, or D, the barred owl? Let me know your guess. You can do that. That's at aroundtheozarks.com. I want to thank you for starting off your new week here, the holiday week again, here at Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather. Grab the rain gear early today. I do expect a lot of dry time by this afternoon. And once again, we are looking at a high temperature of 87 degrees here in Springfield. Thanks to our sponsors, Command Family Medicine, Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet, and Heating and Air Paramedics. I sure appreciate you listening, and I will chat with you again first thing tomorrow morning.